Hi, Astro friends. It's Melanie on the 7th of November 2023. Maybe it's already November 8th in your world. This is the Astro weather for this week, starting today on November 7th, but really kicking in tomorrow, November 8th, and going until November 13th. So the week is actually framed by two, or I shall say, three major events. The end of the phase on November 13th will be the Scorpio New Moon with Mars. And the beginning of the phase tomorrow, November 8th, will be when Venus enters her own sign of Libra and breaks the spell of no planets in air signs. So she will be the first one in an air sign in a while. Venus in Libra, November 8th until December 4th. And on the day after, November 9th, Mercury will enter Sag. So that also shifts their vibes more in a mental communicative world. Mercury will be in Sag for quite a long time because there will be another retro phase. I'll get to that in a little while. So let's start with Venus. Let's start with chronologically tomorrow, Venus shifting from Virgo, where she has been in the last month, and to go into Libra. And that's quite a welcome shift because Venus in Virgo is per se not so happy. Venus is in fall in Virgo because she's exalted in Pisces, where love just is and so much is being received, and versus in the Virgo world, attraction happens a lot in the realm of work, service, so much to do, so many problems we can attract to ourselves to be solved, and also we might have a strong draw to just constantly making the world a better place, maybe even having had a sense of we need to work on ourselves so much, it's never good enough. That can be the shadow sides of Venus in Virgo. But hopefully you have also experienced the higher vibration, so attracting more opportunities to be in our temple of wellness, of wholeness, of good health and wellness practices. So maybe you've been drawn to that, and maybe you also shopped in that regard. That's also a Venusian theme, to bring something into your life that makes life more pleasant, but in this case also more healthy, more well aligned, more functional. Then as Venus goes into Libra, she goes into her own ruled sign, one of the two, Libra and Taurus. So Venus will be in Libra from tomorrow on November 8th until December 4th. And that is where it's a lot about balance, harmony, right relationships. Maybe you attracted problematic and dysfunctional relationships with Venus in Virgo, which could have also had an important purpose because of the eclipse we had on October 14th in Venus ruled Libra, where it was about releasing what's not in balance, what's not a good match, what does not bring you joy. And maybe Venus in Virgo has reinforced that. But Venus goes now into Libra, and it's about attracting where there's real beauty, balance, harmony, peace. We need so much. Do we need peace, don't we? And yeah, so how can we raise the vibration to meet that and to express that and to attract more of this? Then on November 9th, the day after, Mercury goes into Sag. Before I carry on with that, I just want to emphasize again, Venus going into Libra will be the first planet going into an air sign in quite a while, because there's no planet currently in Gemini, nor a planet in Libra, nor a planet in Aquarius. The only air factor is the South Node in Libra. And that's also something we want to watch with Venus in Libra. At the end of her phase, Libra phase, so early December, end of November, early December, she will be in contact, Venus will be in contact with the South Node. So we can attract old and maybe karmic relationships, but we also need to release where the relationship ain't no more and where it's not really a match and where it's not really well balanced. Back to Mercury entering Sag. That will be November 9th. So another shift from, in this case, from yin to yang, from Mercury having been in Scorpio, not an easy time either. Mercury going into Sag. Mercury is in exile in Sag. So Mercury likes to be in Gemini because that is more a pure interest and learning and communication for its own sake. So being really curious is very much a Mercury in Sag, in Gemini function, versus Mercury in Sag. There is the thoughts and ideas and communication go a lot to truth, to meaning, which can be beautiful, right? So we can express from our hearts what really matters to us and what we believe in. But it can be also a time where we argue over beliefs, right? Or we are too in a righteous place, similar, right? And so what is right for us is not necessarily true and right for others. We have to keep that in mind with Mercury in Sag. Maybe also being examined as Mercury will go retrograde soon, not too soon, but December 12th till January 1st is the next Mercury retro phase. And it will happen from early Capricorn back to late Sag. So that makes for a really long Mercury in Sag phase. Hence, that is, as I said, November 9th until, what did I do here? Into Sag. I have to correct something in the write up here. Until December 1st, and then again December 22nd until January 13th, because of the retro phase, which will be, as I said, December 12th to January 1st. So Mercury entering Sag being a big deal this end of the year and early next year. So maybe you are thinking a lot of traveling and of studying and of exploring, of adventures. And the question would be to be in your heart, to be in your mind just as much as in your heart. The mind is the Mercury factor, the heart is Sagittarius. So also going where you feel called to, and whether it's about exploration of the mind or physically via traveling, and speaking from the heart when you are in contact with another, and from goodwill, from trust, from inspiration, and all of that is Mercury in Sag. I had actually a beautiful encounter this afternoon, not encounter but visit this afternoon with an older friend who has Sag rising, and she's so spirited and her eyes are sparkling. She's 90. Her eyes are sparkling and she's so inspiring because what she truly believes in life is what she lives by, and she totally gives that off. And so spirit is Sag, and the spirit of a direction, right, where we feel called because we follow the light. That is the theme of Sag before winter solstice. The outer light diminishes, but we move with the heart light, with the candle light, towards the return of the light in the external world. So Mercury in Sag can be very uplifting, and it's about trust, having trust in our mind and having a positive attitude and gratitude. That came up a lot in that visit as well. Gratitude for life, for all the gifts and for all the opportunities. That raises the vibration, which is what we need these days. Then on November 11th, on 11/11, Mars, still in Scorpio for a little bit, till the 24th, I believe, will oppose Uranus in Taurus, Uranus retro in Taurus. So that is also quite fired up energy, an intense energy, an energy that calls for outlets, for really a cathartic expression. And it can have to do with the notion of saying, hey, I got to change something about this situation. I got to be out of here. I got to change my habits, change too much stagnation. This is what Uranus in Taurus helps us with anyway, so that the external expressions and events don't have to be a catalyst, right? So sometimes with Mars, Uranus in combination, there can be also accidents, incidents, unexpected events, and turns of events. So how about us experimenting with living life from a Scorpio perspective, right? Mars approaches the new moon in Scorpio. So from that perspective, living life from a deeper, more intimate, more essential place, from the core of our being, sharing from our soul, and not just from a superficial and consumer mentality. So Taurus and Scorpio are the axis in a way of body and soul. So yeah, body needs to move, needs to shift maybe some stagnant energy, and the soul, the psyche, our essence needs to be expressed. Then it can be also in the world, in the outer world, in the socio-political realm. Mars Uranus can also lend itself to erratic and unexpected, even violent events. So we want to help share that, shift that vibration rather than sharing it, shift that vibration with our own contribution to it, right? So how do you use that energy for the highest good? How can you be in Mars Uranus experiment with new ways of being? And then on November 13th, the last day of this phase, of this period, of this week, November 13th, next Monday, Moon Day, will be the day of the Scorpio New Moon at about 21 degrees, almost 21 degrees, and that new moon comes with Mars. I show you the chart for it. Haven't fully marked it all, the chart, and haven't written the Astro News article for it. That will be happening soon. So here is the chart. Look at that concentration in Scorpio. Moon, Sun, new moon with Mars opposing Uranus. And Jupiter is also nearby. So it's a strong polarity. It's a new moon that's in a way a bit like a full moon even. And the polarity of Scorpio Taurus, here it is again. And I would say for the last time, the strong polarity is still on. We've been experiencing that very strongly with the eclipses and the nodal axis in the Scorpio Taurus dynamic since end of 2021. So I would say this new moon that acts like a full moon is the last hurrah in that dynamic. What does that mean? The scorpionic side, where also the south node is nearby in Libra, is something to really look deeper behind the surface, where shadow is, where, for example, manipulation is, where people play power games with each other, and because it's a new moon, to start fresh, to move forward really from the soul, from the heart of your being. And maybe you already experienced lots of transformation where you have more access to power, to your essential nature, and live life more fully, maybe on the edge in a way, right? But really in depth and with passion. That's very scorpionic. And also to purge and transform whatever is not yours, whatever is the dark and dense energy that you might get pulled into, but don't dwell there. Don't get sucked into the muck. And if you're there, help transform that energy. Do it in your own ways, but also for your own sake, I should say, but also help transform that energy in the world. So, and then the Taurus side, on the other hand, is where rather the North Node is, together with the North Node in Aries. Then in Taurus we see Jupiter and Uranus. So this is more like an incentive energy here, and that would call for renewal and for moving forward into the new and taking the first steps, and then also towards where nature, where Mother Earth is calling you, and where your senses are being very positively enhanced, where your value is going with what you truly value and what you truly enjoy. And as you embody that joy and that freedom that comes from Uranus and the gratitude that comes from Jupiter, that's where good energy gets generated. So a few words still about the Scorpionic phase at this point and the lunar phase. The Scorpio part we're in right now is Central Scorpio with Scorpio undertone. That started on the 3rd of November and goes until the 12th of November. And or 11th, 12th, right around that, 10 days, right? And so that's the core, the heart of the Scorpio. So again, lots of deep stuff can come up, which might trigger you, which might provoke you, which might make you feel powerless or going into weird games with another. But look at the shadow, look at where you want to be in control and where you engage in control power issues with others, and how that is no longer needed, and you can actually transform that energy into something much more enjoyable. Then, and then the last part of Scorpio, which starts on the 12th of November, goes till the 22nd, is has a Pisces undertone. On the 22nd this year, the Sun enters Sag already, right? So we have then a Pisces undertone of Scorpio. So there's a lot of release happening, lots of surrender, forgiveness, or letting things go, right? Because we are moving to more inspiration here soon. And old stuff that we might have gotten stuck or trapped in no longer serves, and we can help move that energy. Then the moon is now waning. We had the full moon as a partial eclipse on the 28th of October, and now the moon is waning and moving towards the new moon, as I said. So the waning moon is currently in Virgo today on the 7th. Tomorrow the moon goes, still in Virgo on the 8th, and on the 9th she goes into Libra at 12:08 a.m. So all day Thursday, Friday, the moon will be in Libra, and then from Saturday mid-morning on in Scorpio, approaching the new moon. So that weekend to come will be a dark moon weekend, and that can be extra dark. So currently moon in Virgo, that is a good time to get some work done and also close some accounts, so to say, right, where things need to be finished up. And it's a good time to pay attention to details and be attentive, be aware, and be also especially also health and wellness aware, and take good care of yourself, of your needs when it comes to sort of routines and regularity, anything that's healthy. And then the moon in Libra, also waning, right? So it's the last phase of the lunar cycle of this month. The moon in Libra approaching the south node in Libra is also about release. As I said, Thursday, Friday until Saturday mid-morning, all Pacific I'm talking about. Libra moon in the waiting phase is also looking at the effects of certain relationships, of dynamics around a negotiation, peace, harmony, or lack thereof, and what it takes to come back to balance, and what change it takes, because the change that, and first of all, what choices it takes, right? The Libra part, and then the choices evoke and lead to change, and that change is the Scorpionic part. So once you're in that process, after the choice has been made, transformation is inevitable, but it starts with a choice. So the Libra moon might lend itself a lot to choice making and weighing different options, but also be courageous with your choice, because the Scorpio new moon is waiting, where change, seeds for really deep change, powerful, passionate change, want to be planted. And the Scorpio dark moon before the new moon on the 13th, right? That is also a lot of processing here, can come up on the weekend. A lot of things that we need to purge, that we need to look at under the surface, and where we need to shed light at whatever is in the shadow and in the dark. However, it can be also very juicy time and very great for anything that's like a spa, that's like a place where you really renew yourself. And for that, it would be actually wonderful to do that on the weekend, just into the new moon. So that should do it for today. And next Monday, I'm pretty sure I will talk about that new moon again, because it will be just fresh. Right now, it's a bit still ahead, but on the horizon. I wish you a good week, and see you in real life, or you see me here on this channel. And as always, I add in the description part the links to the blog, to the Facebook page, and also how to get on my newsletter list. And the blog will have several articles coming up for all these shifts, for Venus into Libra, for Mars, for Mercury into Sag, and for the new moon. So I wish you well for this week, and maybe, as I said, I see you in real life for a session, for socializing, wherever we are, and our paths cross. And otherwise, until next week via video. Bye bye.